Hello YouTubeverse, welcome to WhiskyWhistle everyone. I'm your host Mark, bringing you whiskey review number 224. That's right, we're getting into some bourbon here. Look at this spread I've got right here for you. This is what's coming in the upcoming weeks. I'm not going to do them all at once. I've learned a lesson. The lesson is that people get bored of the same kind of whiskey over and over again. We're going to be starting with Wild Turkey right over here. I've got a special couple of wild turkeys right here. I've got the 8-year-old. What's this, you say? Look at this label. Pretty weird, isn't it? How long has it been since 8-year-old wild turkey has been around? Well, this is what they get in Japan. And it's the 101, but it's an 8-year-old version of 101. And then in this mystery bottle, we have another wild turkey. We'll talk about that shortly. It has 4 numbers in its name. That's a hint. Let me clear this table out so we can get into that wild turkey. So, I hope you've been well. It's been a while since I've done a recording. I ended up with a nasty cold. I'm still suffering a little bit from the cold, but my nasal passages are nice and free and open. And so it's time to get back into things here. Get rid of all these delicious whiskeys. I would love to do them all right now, but I want to put a little bit of suspense into this. Okay, so we have Wild Turkey, 8-year-old, and, oh, there it is, and the 1855. 1855, that's the number. All right, and we've got 2 Glencairns. Let's get these poured right away. So it is December 1st, well, technically December 2nd here in Korea. People are starting to open their advent calendars. I'm afraid I don't have one of those fancy whiskey advent calendars. Hint, hint, hint. Wish I did. I really wish I did. Be it bourbon, blended scotch, single malt scotch, Japanese, you name it. I wish I had it. So this is 1855. This is from B.S. Lee here in Korea. Now, I don't know what the ABV is on this exact one. So I think it's around 54% or 108. Something somewhat comparable to Rare Breed. This is apparently a blend of 6-year-old, 10-year-old, and 12-year-old wild turkey. That should be good. A little more? Why not? There we are. So there we have it. It's been a long time for me since I've been able to review a wild turkey. I do want to get into the rare breeds and some of those fancy bottles, but not yet. All right, so we're going to start with Wild Turkey 101, the 8-year-old version for the Japanese market, and then we'll get into the 1855. Let's look at the color of the whiskey. Then we will look at the legs. Let's check out the legs on this whiskey. After that, we will have a look at the nose. Well, rather, we'll smell the nose. And after that, we'll check out the taste, followed by the finish, the aftertaste. Then, and only then, will we talk about the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Wild Turkey 8-year-old. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into this. We'll check out the color first. And a beautiful golden hue. I don't have my white paper nearby, so we'll just leave it at that. But you can see that, I think, very well with the new lights that I've got. A new lighting system. I hope you've noticed. Hope it's an improvement. Anyway, we are into something slightly deeper than gold. We'll call it almost a brassy hue. And let's check out the legs as well. I can tell you right now it's going to have very, very, very slow legs. Okay. They are just starting to form. Down they go. Very drizzly. And then the secondary drizzle, the secondary legs, they're just beginning as well. So quite a thick whiskey. Oops, I spilt some. Look at that. Ever so slow. Look at that one drizzle. Oh, that's on the outside. Well, it's going down very slowly on the outside. Okay. So, let's check out the nose now. Again, that is Wild Turkey 8-year-old. Now, you do get a rush of alcohol. And then you let your nose get acclimatized. And it is full of cinnamon, a little bit of mint, lots of vanilla, hint of caramel, but more just straight vanilla with cinnamon, and then a minty background. Now, if I were knocked out for whatever reason, this might revive me, because I do like Wild Turkey. It's well known. And if my voice goes, I do apologize. I'm not quite 100% yet. And the worst thing is, in my regular job, I have to use my voice day in and day out. So there's really just no mercy for me when I get sick. And I'm not even really sick. I don't feel sick whatsoever. It is just this, little bit of stuff that hasn't really come out yet. As if you want to know that. All right. Anything else in here? See, now the nose is really tamed, toned down. I can really get my nose in there now. Well, that's what I'm sticking to. A bit of mint, cinnamon, vanilla. These are the main things that I smell here in the nose. Hint of caramel, as I mentioned. And it's making me salivate. I can't wait to try this. All right, well, cheers, everyone. Glad to be back. Hope you've missed me. I've missed you. Now, if the nose is a little bit punchy at first, the palate, on the first sort of, what I call that, when it just hits my palate, the development, it's very smooth. But then something really, really awesome happens. You get this just big rush of tartness and sweetness, a little bit of spice, and wonderful finish as I'm tasting this just sort of holistically. Didn't have time to make notes, and I wanted to get this down for you and for me. As you know, YouTube is relentless. It's like if you don't release at least once a week, better off twice, and ideally 3 times a week. If you don't, you are falling off the face of the earth, basically. Both for the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, and also for your subscribers, because there are, gosh, now how many people are doing whiskey reviews on YouTube? There's got to be 100, maybe 200, maybe more. And I swear, when I began, I want to say that there was probably less than 10, 20 doing English whiskey reviews, something like that, not very many. And then there was just a big wave that began shortly after I did. Should I mention some names here? We've got Whiskey in the Six, Whiskey Wise, Malted in Montreal, Scotch for Dummies. I think we started nearly about the same time. I think they might have been a few days after me. Who else? I'm forgetting someone that Keith, what's your channel's name again? Malted Man Cave. That's very recent, in the last, let's say, year. And then you've got Aquavite, No Nonsense Whiskey. Ben Adramide Bauer. So he started around about January 2016. Anyway, the list goes on and on. No point in talking about all of them, but there's just so many, and try to watch as many as you can. Find the one that you like, and throw a lot of support to that channel. And don't forget to come back and watch my videos too. Okay. We're into the palate. We were into the palate, and then I got off on a tangent there. That's what happens here on Whiskey Whistle. Nowhere else. Mm-hmm. It's just so smooth. And then you get this crescendo of dryness and spice. And the finish is very peppery. Now, to my memory, this compared to Wild Turkey 101, do I have a little bit of it somewhere? I might. Like the regular 101. Don't know where though. I'm not going to go find it. I feel like there's a smoothness here that you don't get from the regular 101. That's about all I can say. Everything else is just as I remember. That is a damn smooth dram. Now, if you are going to start a YouTube channel, there's a name for you. Damn smooth dram. Good to be back. Very long finish, buttery smooth. Goes out with spice and vanilla. A little bit more caramel. No recurrence of the mint. I don't have any mint on the finish. Now, I will put a bit of water in there. Should I put water in there now? No, I'm not going to put water in there now. I'm going to try the 1855 first. But before I do that, let's talk about another whiskey social media and online and offline juggernaut, and that is the Angel's Portion. Now, you've probably seen that up there on my wall for the last few weeks. This is written by Reverend Chris Toma. I'm not sure how you... It's probably Tama for Americans. So Reverend Chris Tama. Now, this is his third volume. He has amassed a Bible, pardon the pun, but a Bible of whiskey reviews. And not only reviews, there is there's a story for every single review. The whiskey sort of speaks to him in a way that makes him want to put pen to paper about, anything from his life, his family, from his church to fantasy, Star Wars, or anything. And, I've come to know the gentleman, the Reverend, and I call him Rev. Now, Rev, you are an awesome guy. I'm hoping that I can get you onto my channel sometime soon. We talked about that, but we had a nice, what can I call it, a telephone. We had a telephone dram round about a month and a half ago or so. Anyway, now he asked me to write a little blurb. Can I call it a blurb? A little blurb for the book. So there it is on the back, right there. You can see my name there, Mark Kaufman. And I am such a loser. I'm such an idiot. I have no sense. My wife tells me this too. Anyway, I'm also mentioned in the book, and gosh, Rev, I'm sorry that it took me so long to find that. It was tucked near the end, and I'm the type of person that likes to read a book, page by page. But I was looking for your review of Wild Turkey 101, which is in here. and under W for wild. And then what do my eyes find in the beautiful glossary index at the back is WhiskyWhistle. So it's listed there on page 371. So, well, let me just have a quick little read. Now, it's a review of Sutcliffe & Son, The Exceptional Malt, second edition, 43%. I've never tried. I'm hoping to try. Mr. Sutcliffe, hello. Could you possibly send me a little package? That would be nice. Anyway, so it's a review of that, and he is talking about Twitter. And I'll just read the part that includes me. Hey, look, a new Twitter follower. I love new friends. Let's check this one out. Seems interesting enough. Looks like he has a few thousand followers, but he's just sort of retweeting a lot of what other folks are tweeting. Although he does have a few original posts here and there. That's cool. Yeah, I'll follow him back. It seems like he could be an interesting source for the whiskey news and conversation. Let's see what's going on in the Twitter whiskey world. Click. Dum-de-dum. Mark over at the WhiskyWhistle has another great video review, as do the Scotch Test Dummies. Now, my God, I'm in the same sentence as them. I always need to remember to take some time tonight and watch. Always good stuff. Anyway, he talks about a situation when you follow someone on Twitter and after they've followed you, and then they turn around and unfollow you. So that happened to him. And a great review of what sounds like a very lovely blended Scotch whiskey. Right. Now then, quick back up to 163, where we have a review of Wild Turkey 101. He talks a little bit about PETA, P-E-T-A. Won't go through that one. I'm not totally political on this channel. I should maybe start a channel where I do get political and drink whiskey. Would that be good? And he talks about wild turkeys. And he talks about how ugly they are. So here's the Wild Turkey 101 review. However, if a wild turkey was holding a bottle of its honorary whiskey, particularly the 101 edition, well, I guess I'd be inclined toward a softer heart, and perhaps I'd welcome it in to be warm and well fed. I'd offer it a place at the table. I'd set out a moderate selection of finger foods. I'd place a Glencairn before both of us, and I'd pour a round. Together we would sniff the caramel and wood spice, barely dusted with ash. We'd sip and savor what is a lively vanilla wash, wrestling with crisp rye and cinnamon. We'd toast to a longer finish of peppercorns, rye, and an ever-fading alcohol sour. We'd sip again. We'd share a story or two about ourselves. I'd thank the bird for stopping by, and most especially for bringing the quality booze. I'd show it the door, and then I'd shoot it. We have far too many wild turkeys in Michigan. Anyway, very cool. Now, I may, from time to time, have a look in that book while I'm conducting my own reviews, because he writes some very interesting stuff there. So let's get on to the 1855 Reserve from Wild Turkey. Oh, we got to check out the color. Is there any difference in color? It looks relatively the same. Might be just a shade darker. Yeah, I'm just a slight hint. Just a hint darker than the 101 8-year-old. Okay, and the legs for this one. Now, being this high in proof, in ABV, one would wonder whether this is unchill filtered. And likewise, very slow in the legs, with the secondary legs just beginning, the secondary drizzle. Seemed a little bit slower to my eyes. and a little bit more defined. And I'm getting a very perfumed scent coming from this glass. All right, well, on to the nose for the 1855. Not sure the bottling or batch year. It's probably 54 point something percent ABV, or 108.5-ish. And if I can find out from B.S. Lee, I'll put it in the whatchamacallit, the description. That's what it's called. Now, it's a sweeter nose. And I can definitely tell that there's some more aged whiskey in here. This one is straight up 8 years old. This is 6 plus 10 plus 12. I have a feeling that it's predominantly 10 years old with a bit of 12 and 50% or less of 6. Now here I'm getting very rich caramel, also vanilla. The mint is hiding here, if there is any. A little bit there, not much though. That's the rye, by the way, giving it that mint. This is really smooth. This smells as sweet as some Speyside unpeated single malt Scotch whiskies. Bit of apple now, but more like a cooked apple. Okay, on to the palate. Cheers, everyone. Crisp, fresh apples with skins. A bit of mint in the palate. Rich vanilla caramels. And the finish, it's got a rush of that caramel minty sweetness. Not as dry as the 101. You know, hint of dryness there, still dry. This is much drier than the 1855. Let's go back in there. Again, it's buttery smooth. The finish, yeah, you still got apple. Fresh apple. Also, cooked apples. A caramel apple. The dusty, minty flavor is much more pronounced in this whiskey, especially in the finish. Bourbon. Did I say bourbon? I hope I said bourbon. I sure hope I didn't say Scotch. Now that would be really, really dumb. I don't remember what I said when I had all those whiskeys on the table. What did I say? I don't know. I'm going crazy now. Okay. This is pretty amazing. The fresh apple is taking this over the top. That's really adding a bit of balance. That's providing some sourness, especially also the palate and the finish. That tart apple. Delicious. Okay, we're adding water now. Now, if you have seen my original Wild Turkey 101 review, you will know that I absolutely loved the whiskey with water added. I don't have that very prominently placed, do I? There we are. Have a bit of water for my Wild Turkey tumbler. Cool. Very clean. This came in a set of 2, along with Wild Turkey 81. So that was a nice purchase. All right, back to 101 with water. See, I get the apple here now. And a little bit more of that herbal. It's not so much mint, not just mint now. It is mint along with some sweet green herbs. Maybe a bit of basil, fresh summer basil. And it's getting much more candied. Still lots of vanilla there, a little bit of apple creeping in here too. Very interesting. All right. Oh, my mouth is salivating. Okay, let's get into this one on the palate. Cheers. You know, it just sort of takes off a little bit of the rough edges. Adds a bit of apple tartness. The rye is more noticeable on the palate now, also in the finish. Again, there's just sort of a sugary mint, but also, like I say, a little bit of that basil. And a lot less dry. Still dry, just not as much. Boy, I'm torn now. I like it neat, and I also like it with water. All right, let's get on the 1855. Another little swig of water. Pardon the smacking noises. I can really smell the older whiskey here now. That's what it is. There's a little bit of leather. A leather kind of furniture, leather. New leather car seats. Oh, and yet this apple is just very, very bright and very fresh. It's really, really got a lovely nose. All right, time to taste it again. Cheers again. Well, it really cooked out those fresh tart apples. So much sweeter apple flavor. Again, still very vanilla, caramel, a little bit of that mint. Well, that is a delight to try. Thank you very much, BS. What a finish. It goes such a long time. Actually, the peppery tartness, the peppery tart, bitter dryness, and it just goes and goes. Wow, very nice. So, what are we going to do here? Well, I really like that 8-year-old. I love the 101 to begin with. Very, very, very nice. Really, really nice. The Whiskey Whistle whiskey score, let's get into that now. What is the Whiskey Whistle whiskey score going to be for Wild Turkey 8-year-old? This one is going to be 90 out of 100. That is right, 90 out of 100. And if it seems like I'm giving a lot of 90s recently, there's a good reason. These are great whiskeys that I'm coming across in the last little while. Oh, I've been having a great time with whiskeys of late. There are a few that are coming up that will probably be a little bit lower. And I still love them too. Okay, now what about the 1855 Reserve? Well, the Whiskey Whistle whiskey score for Wild Turkey 1855 Reserve is going to be 92 out of 100. That's right, 92 out of 100 for Wild Turkey 1855 Reserve. 92. Whoo-wee. Lovely. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to Whiskey Whistle right over here. Have you tried the 8-year-old from Japan or the older 101 8-year-old? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. How about this one, the 1855 Reserve? I hear this is also only found in Japan of late. It may have been in the American market years ago. Did you try it? Did you like it? Let me know what you think of that. I hear it's a little bit expensive on the secondary market in the US. Well, that's about it. Don't forget about my Twitter account, Facebook, and also Instagram, Whiskey Whistle. You'll find me. No E on whiskey, whiskey with a Y, whistle, as in, okay? So stay tuned for what's coming next in 225. Take care now, and goodbye. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like, and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.